Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Chander Shekhar Dogra from DAV University, Jalandhar, and I'm presenting my paper on creating innovative small and medium enterprise clusters in India, an overview of RIS approach. So this paper is about the regional innovation systems approach and its potential in fostering innovation in small and medium enterprises with specific reference to India. So the regional innovation systems approach basically is creation of industrial clusters surrounded by innovation supporting organizations such as universities, technical colleges, R&D institutes, government support institutions, financial institutions, and so on, which together collaborate to foster innovation in industrial clusters, especially in small and medium enterprises, which dominate the economies of developing countries like India. Now, these innovation supporting institutions render services like diffusing knowledge, promoting R&D, training labor, providing finance, which otherwise would not be available to small and medium enterprises, because small and medium enterprises lack the in-house ability to carry out extensive research and development, innovation, product development, and so on. So they need the support of an ecosystem in order to foster innovation. And the RIS approach basically promotes, espouses the creation of such an innovation supporting ecosystem. Now, at the center of the RIS approach are universities and research institutions, because they act as catalysts with their pool of human capital in promoting innovation, especially in small and medium enterprises, specifically in any kind of innovation that requires a new technology, introduction of a new technology. Now, with this specific intention in mind, the government of India created an apex body in 2023 called the Anusandhan National Research Foundation. Anusandhan basically in Hindi is a Hindi word that means research. And this body has been promoted for fostering a research ecosystem in India. Now, this body, ANRF, which was formed in 2023, is entrusted with the task of promoting innovation and entrepreneurship throughout India's universities, colleges, research institutions, and R&D laboratories. And it has a dedicated fund through which this innovation is supposed to be done, and it is managed by the Department of Science and Technology under the Ministry of Science and Technology. Now, the central theme of this paper is how can the ANRF foster innovation in SMEs by bridging the gap between academia and industry. That means how can it bridge that gap between the conceptualization of an idea, the introduction of an innovation, and its commercialization. And in order to link that, to make that connect, I've taken the example of the United States, which has a federal agency known as the US National Science Foundation, which is also entrusted with the task of promoting and fostering innovation in small enterprises throughout the United States, specifically in high technology areas like fundamental science and engineering. Now, the reason why I've taken the example of the National Science Foundation is that one of its key focus areas is bridging that gap between academia and industry. That means forging partnerships between colleges and small and medium enterprises. And that is the key theme of my presentation, how in India that gap can be bridged, because in developing countries, academic institutions and industry tend to operate in silos. They don't have an enabling ecosystem to bridge that gap between industry and academia. So even if you come up with a bright idea, you come up with an innovative idea, you would not be able to commercialize that idea because the supportive ecosystem is not there. Now, of course, the US has a vibrant framework for promoting innovation in small businesses, which I'm going to again illustrate with the example of the US Small Business Administration. Now, this agency is specifically tasked with fostering innovation in small businesses by helping them to grow by providing technology, capital, and contract assistance. Now, how that is done is the SBA runs two programs, the Small Business Innovation Research and the Small Business Technology Transfer, that is SBIR and STTR programs, which are designed to help small businesses to start and expand their businesses by connecting companies with lenders and funding. So you are basically connecting academia with industry. You are basically connecting academia with lenders, VCs, private equity funds, government agencies that help to foster innovation by creating an enabling ecosystem. Now, these programs together on an average fund 4,000 companies every year, investing 4 billion in seed funding. The USP of these organizations is, like I've been repeating and saying repetitively probably, is that they help to connect that gap between academia and industry, small businesses and colleges, universities, and research institutions. Now, in India, we have a vibrant food processing industry, which is expected to have an economic turnover of $535 billion by 2026. This industry, food processing, is dominated by small and medium enterprises. And if the ANRF can somehow be directed to foster innovation in food processing, it can have a huge impact on the overall innovative potential of SMEs in India. So that would be one key focus area, that is food processing and small and medium enterprises. Now, it's not just that Indian SMEs are innovative in basic industries like food processing. Indian SMEs are becoming highly innovative in high-tech industries like space research, AI, computing, and so on. In Bangalore, for example, there is a company that has developed a system for sending a rocket into space using a water propellant, and so on. Numerous innovations have taken place from SMEs, but they need to be given a pathway and ecosystem for commercializing those innovations. Now, just as the SBA, Small Business Administration, promotes innovation in SMEs by connecting them with companies and lending, so in India also, the government should launch similar programs for identifying innovative SMEs, nurturing them into becoming champions, and those champions could subsequently scale up into big businesses. Microsoft, Google, all these companies have started off as SMEs, probably sometime in the US, but because they had access to an innovative ecosystem, they grew into large enterprises. So that success should be replicated in India, but for that, the government will need to initiate specific programs for identifying leaders, SME leaders in the respective fields, and then nurturing them into world-class champions. Now, Indian academic institutions have very high credentials. India is leading in patent filings, in research output, in almost every area of academic activity. But still, R&D expenditure in India is much less than China and in the United States, because India ranks very poorly in academia-industry interaction. According to one metric, it ranks like 66 out of 130 countries in academia-industry interaction. Somehow, if that gap could be bridged with active government support, the innovative potential of Indian academia, that is universities, and small businesses would increase exponentially, would go up significantly. And one of the biggest reasons why developed economies are more innovative than supposedly developing economies is because developed economies have much higher levels of university academia interaction, which is lacking in most developing countries. That's the reason why you have these, world-renowned innovators coming up from developed countries, because they have access to a better ecosystem. So, thank you.